I think the biggest problem that most musicians face with their motivation is feeling entitled to recognition, to listeners, to fans. You need to realize something. You're not. What's up, guys? If you're new here, my name is Kevin Getz. I'm a guitarist in a symphonic metal band, and I'm currently making a full-time income from my music despite being kind of a nobody. And this YouTube channel is all about helping other musicians do the same thing. If that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to subscribe and check out the other videos on my channel, but for now, let's get back to the topic at hand. I think that frustration really ruins, preemptively, some pretty promising music careers. You know, you sit here and you're just feeling like no matter what you do, there's no audience for your music. People just aren't interested. And a lot of that comes from a very damaging perspective that has evolved in the music industry with the advent of social media. Namely, we look at some of the YouTube stars that have come up, and we looked at their community and their subscriber base, and it just seems like people love them as people, not just as artists. You know, people are interested in their personal lives, and they can vlog about it. And we think that we should have that same relationship, but we don't know how to get it. You know, you never see the process that an artist went through before they had their fans, right? You always just see them succeeding now. And so it's really unclear how they even got fans. And then we have some of them that give some really bad advice, to be quite frank, about the process of building a fan base. They don't really know what they're talking about, because yes, they were successful, but a lot of them don't understand how they became successful, because on YouTube at least it's easy enough to fluke your way there. And then they just kind of go, okay, well, you know, my contemporaries are saying this, even though they're probably wrong, and I also don't know how I got here, but I'm just going to tell people that I think I do. And it's no wonder that there's so much confusion, right? But the truth of the matter is that you have to be incredibly deliberate about building your fan base. And something that needs to come with that is the realization that you are not entitled to listeners. They don't owe you anything. No one owes you anything. You have to be engaging enough and interesting enough and have a plan set up in place that will earn you those listeners and those fans and those people who are interested in your personal life. Now, I've said it before, my main path to success was the marketing course Music Marketing Manifesto. If you want to support my channel, I do have an affiliate link in the description. It does come with a full guarantee refund policy, so, you know, no risk to yourself. But the thing is that everyone has to find their own path to success, and it has to resonate with you as a person. You know, I built this YouTube channel from the ground up years ago, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a plan. No one has plans. Planning is overrated. It's not spontaneous. It's not artistic. We don't think that way as musicians, and we need to think that way. We need to plan out things way more efficiently than we've been taught to by our contemporaries in the music industry. And that's only part of the problem. But it's a big part of the problem. But the other issue is that you can't let yourself become cynical. I think the most poisonous thing that I've seen a musician say was something to the effect of, I'm so much better than this other artist. I deserve their fans. No, you don't. And the reason for that is, who are you to judge, first off, their music in the first place, but also, much more importantly, you might be better than them on a technical level, but that's not what determines how engaged a fan base is anymore. Shared values, shared human values are what matters in the age of social media. Go ahead and go look at any band that you look up to. Look at their YouTube presence. If their YouTube presence is not well managed, if it's, for instance, managed by a record label, you'll see very little interaction between the artist and the fan. However, if you go and look at a self-starter on YouTube, someone who grew their fan base organically and deserves every little fragment of success that they've earned, you'll see their fan base saying inside jokes that they make with the artist. You'll see their fan base asking about some personal problem that was not even mentioned in the video that you watched. You know, is your dog okay? I remember you said your dog was sick. And you're sitting here going, when did they say their dog was sick? What did I miss? Right? Because not everything is spoken of in a press release. They probably watched some obscure other video on the channel that you haven't seen. And because it's such an engaged community, everything stacks onto everything else. And that's how you need to start thinking about your community of fans as well. Now, maybe you understand that. Maybe you get it, okay? And you're sitting here wondering, Well, how the hell do I actually get these people in the first place? And that's a fair question. Some people use YouTube. Start out doing covers of your influences of bands in your genre, and then go into the occasional vlog to start communicating and building bonds with your fans. I personally use the approach outlined in Music Marketing Manifesto, which is a marketing course that I took and have seen great success with. I do have an affiliate link for that course if you want to support my channel and you feel like checking it out. It's in the description of this video, and keep in mind it comes with a no questions asked refund policy, so you're really at no risk to yourself if you feel like checking it out. The approach outlined in that course, and several others, really it's kind of becoming the standard of music marketing that 99% of musicians haven't caught on to yet, fortunately for those of us who adopt it quickly, is Facebook advertising. Is running paid ads, ideally on Facebook because it's just the cheapest and the best, and it's just so good to reach out directly to our community, even though they don't know who we are yet. It doesn't matter that they're not on YouTube searching for us, because we can just invade their newsfeed on Facebook and be like, hey, you need to check me out. Click here. And if you've set this up correctly, you'll get responses like, this is amazing, I was just thinking that I would like to hear this kind of music, or I'd like to meet this kind of artist, and here you are, how did you do that? I get those kinds of emails all the time. It really is just an incredible feeling, but it's also, the key to building a fan base, and doing so at a profit, I might add. That's really the key to this, though, is you can't be sitting here thinking you deserve for people to just come and find you wherever you've put your music. No one is going to discover you through Spotify. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. I mean, you might get really lucky and someone stumbles onto you and puts your music on a playlist and you blow up. But here's the thing, and this is why I kind of detest Spotify, and I'm probably going to do a video on this, actually, now that I'm starting to go on this rant. You are not communicating with artists. What is your listener psychology, you yourself, when you use Spotify? You might discover a new artist. You put their single onto a playlist and you forget about them. 99% of people are doing that. You might be the exception. Statistically, though, you are not the norm. The norm is people don't bond with artists they discover through Spotify. Certainly not to the extent that they do artists they discover through Facebook ads and then bond through email or YouTube or, something planned out to show them who we are, what we're about, why they should care about us, why we care about them. You don't get that from putting a song on your phone and listening to you while you work out. Some musicians are actually doing really well with Instagram right now as well. I think Twitter is kind of dead, honestly, but Instagram, it's okay. I haven't used it. I personally am not friends with anyone who has. All my friends are doing their profit through Facebook advertising, but I know of, at least, people who are doing really well from just posting on Instagram, using hashtags like, hashtag genre, hashtag top band in genre, things like that to attract fans, and then creating a community around their music. It can work. I don't personally have the patience to do something like that after I've gotten so good at Facebook ads. I would much rather throw $50 at a Facebook ad campaign and make back $200 automatically than I would put the time into figuring out Instagram, but that's just me. You may feel an attraction to Instagram that I don't, in which case, go for it. I know that it can work. But, these are strategies, right? And strategies aside, you have to get over your mindset of entitlement. And that's what most musicians are not going to do, and still haven't, and for some reason can't, is this cynical, almost nihilistic idea that everything should be an equal playing field, and I deserve what everyone else deserves. You deserve an equal opportunity if you earn it. You do not deserve an equal outcome. Music is all about meritocracy. Any competitive artistic field is all about meritocracy, but I would argue music most of all, especially metal, which I imagine my audience is largely made up of metal musicians, just because of my other subject matter. And it goes beyond music, but, if your music is not as well produced, if it doesn't sound as good, if it doesn't fit exactly into a very tribal concept of genres, you're rejected. And then on top of that, if you are less charismatic or interesting or funny, or even the opposite can be a marketing hook, less tragic, less, you've been through less pain than somebody else, you're just not going to have the emotional gravity. And you need to sit down and you need to think about who you are and why people should give a shit. Instead of just expecting that someone will because, what, you're a nice guy? To use the dating analogy, like, no. You have to be interesting. You are not entitled to anything. Anything at all. You just don't get to sit here and whine. And yes, I'm ranting a little bit. Some of this is because of some Skype students that I was talking with, and you guys know who you are, and I already did this, but you don't get to sit here and whine. You just don't. It's not going to do you any good. Like, seriously. You have two options. You've determined that you're not interesting enough to attract fans. Are you going to sit here crying about how it shouldn't matter? Or are you going to make yourself into a more interesting person? Because the latter is going to get your results a hell of a lot faster than the former. End of story. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Again, definitely subscribe and definitely give Music Marketing Manifesto a chance if you're looking for a strategy that's proven to work in building your fan base. And again, if you want to help me out by using my affiliate link, all those profits go back into my channel so I can continue to grow it. And again, it does come with a no questions asked refund policy, so you're not in danger of getting scammed or anything like that. Because I know there are some shady music marketing guys out there. This is not one of them. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Check out my other videos for lots more tips on how to do stuff like this, and I will see you in the next video.